What's up, guys? Tim Little. Welcome back to Tactical Bassin. Today's video, got another kayak video for you. Today we're taking out the Sportsman and I'm gonna put it to the test. The first spot that I want to fish is probably about 2 or 3 miles away. So luckily I got that Minn Kota in there, otherwise my legs and arms would be burning. But gonna take you guys out on the kayak today. Got a chatterbait, swim bait, topwater frog, and a couple finesse baits, but should be fun. Come along as we do some kayaking on Lake Chickamauga.
I'm gonna start off a little morning chatterbait. Woo! Knock it off. Got this guy on that plopper. Was just looking down to see if there was current moving. Thanks, bud. And it looks like the water's coming in this way. See how the grass laid down, a little bit of movement, so hopefully that gets those fish moving. You know, a lot of times on these river systems, it's all based on current, right? It's all based on water movement, and that's what gets those fish feeding. So hopefully this water starting to move, we'll get some fish catches. All right, guys, I'm gonna switch my frog up here. I'm gonna go with frog that I can just chuck and wind and cover water as I'm moving with the kayak. You know, if I had to stop and walk the frog, I wouldn't be able to cover nearly as much water as being able to just chuck and wind and fish this thing weedless through over the grass as we travel. So I went with that little tackle sprinkler. Gar. See much movement here in the current at all. Right out here is the main river, guys. That's the main river, so there's gonna be current there, so we can fish the opposite side of this opening. But I was hoping there'd be current coming into this backwater, and those fish would be positioned, you know, right on those corner points. But it's not looking that way. It's not looking like the grass isn't laid over at all. It's not looking like they're generating much current right now. See this little slit right here. Not much going on. Normally there's a lot of bait fish just packed in this bass. Not right now. Ooh. Thanks, dude. Not the biggest, but it's a bass on top water. Thanks, bud.
Can you guys hear that thunder? Luckily that wall is right here. You know, right probably about 1.5 miles from me. I don't mess with lightning, guys. It's not very smart. So I'm gonna stay on this side of it. Obviously my game plan is if it gets really brutal, I'll dock it on one of these docks and just hang out underneath the overhang, let the storm pass. But gonna continue to try and catch them, and fingers crossed that that storm doesn't come over the top of me.
That's no bueno. Luckily we got a little bit of clear skies ahead, but if that comes over the top, guys, we're gonna be paddling for cover.
Angry. Might be cutting this video short today, guys. This was not supposed to be in the forecast. Well, there's the wind shift, guys. All right, guys, had a little bit of a lightning slash rain delay. You know, you never want to mess around with lightning. It's just, especially when you're in a kayak, if you're the only thing out on the water and you can't go very fast, you're just kind of a sitting duck out there. So no amount of fish, no size of fish is worth taking a chance getting struck by lightning. So got to play it smart. So now we got kind of nice sunny blue sky behind us. So hopefully we can start catching them.
Another one on the little whopper plopper. Of course, wasn't recording, but not the size we're looking for. Thanks, dude. Look how fat that guy is. You know, it never fails that you get out here and you start having storms and batteries dying, cameras going out right before you catch fish. What can go wrong does go wrong when you're out here fishing sometimes. That's just how things are. But just chasing around this little bait. You know, these fish are blowing up on bait that's literally like 1 inch or so. You guys can see it hopping out of the water. Any of these shade pockets back here is just loaded with bait. So kind of talked about it in recent videos about where these fish go when the sun is high. You can find shade, guys. That's where the bait's going to be. which means that's where the fish are going to be. Today just seems like one of those days that nothing's really going on. You know, there's not really a lot of surface activity, not a lot of fish blowing up on bait, no current. You know, we had that storm come through, but other than that, and it's just been brutally hot. And so far caught a few, I think 3 or 4, and missed a couple more, but haven't had a lot of opportunities. Really been putting this this iPilot to work. I'm down here fishing probably about I'd say 2 to 3 miles from where I launched. So still got full battery, so should be able to run around a lot more and catch some fish. But hopefully the bite turns on. You know, now that we got this high sun, I'm just gonna run and gun and chase these shade pockets, because that's where these fish should be. Baits of choice, real quick, guys, I'll show you. Obviously the Whopper Plopper, that's what I've caught. Boated all of the fish on, throwing the little Whopper Plopper over here. Little shallow crank, that's that little Spro. Again, I'm just trying to match the hatch, trying to throw baits that really mimic bait fish, to try and catch these fish that are eating the shad eaters. They're eating the shad, that are shad eaters. Earlier today I had the jackhammer tied on, but I went with this Jackal TN70. I know I'm gonna catch some fish on this. Just need to get some deeper water, slow down and hop it. But again, real flashy. That sun up mimics those baits real well. I have one finesse rod, we'll talk about that last. And then the other power fishing rod. I had a poppin' frog on earlier, but with the kayak, when I'm moving, what's really cool about the kayak is I can set this remote right here. I have it tied up so it doesn't fall out, but I can set this remote to like 1.5 and just engage the motor. Now I can just parallel the shoreline and just make my cast. So I went with a faster moving frog. That way I can just cover more water, especially in that sparse grass. You know, this kayak does extremely well in that sparse grass. Just stand out on the edge of it and then throwing like a parallel, not parallel, like a 45 as the boat is parallel to the shore, just fishing through that grass. So that's the game plan. Those are the baits. I do have one finesse bait tied on, and even that, I have it, it's a DROPSHOT 6-inch robo worm. Paired that up on a 610 medium extra fast. That's actually a St. Croix rod. But like those shorter rods for the kayak, it's just easier to move around. And you know, you get those real long rods in the kayak, they're a little bit harder to make little roll casts, underhand roll casts like that, and just kind of a pain to deal with. So if you can get away with little shorter rods in the kayak, try that. But we're gonna try this shade line over here, and then we'll move around and hopefully catch some more fish. That counts. I'm counting that one. Put down that Whopper Plopper and picked up the little square bill. Nice fish. Nice fish. No current still. That's the main river right there. Really makes for a tough day of fishing, guys.
All right, guys, I'm gonna call it quits. Did almost 10 miles today on the kayak. How cool is that? One battery, still got plenty of power. I am running a lithium back there, but the fishing was brutal. And two things. Normally I wouldn't put out a brutal fishing video, but two things to learn from this video. One, obviously, it's called fishing, not catching, right? It's all about the experience. Today was just one of those days. You ever have those days where about an hour into your day, you're like, man, I probably should have went golfing or did something else, right? You know, just there was zero activity, zero current, just a really weird day. You know, not a lot of baitfish activity. The baitfish I was seeing was that real tiny stuff, about an inch, less than an inch long. So, man, I must have made probably, oh, now we got the wind. I must have made at least 500 casts today. And I think I caught 4 or 5, dumped 2, I believe. But just tough conditions, right? So it happens to everybody, right? So don't get bummed out if you're going out and this happens once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 8 times in a row. It happens. But everything you do on the water, every cast you make, you can learn something from it, right? Today I learned I should have done something else, right? But the other reason I wanted to do this video was the lightning. That storm rolled in. I started hearing the thunder and didn't really think anything of it because out here, we always get those afternoon thunderstorms, so it's not really that big of a deal until it's on top of you. And these storms develop so quickly. You look at like your radar and it's nothing. All of a sudden it just shows up as a big red circle and starts dumping an inch or 2 of rain and lightning and 50-mile-an-hour winds. So it can get crazy. But the lightning aspect, you guys do not play around with lightning. I went and I think I told you guys, I can't remember, but I went and put it on the bank and sat around and waited it out for about maybe 2 hours. I can't really, I left my phone in the kayak, so can't really tell you, but don't mess around with the lightning. I can't wait to see the footage. I think the very first thunder I heard, I looked up and there was a big lightning bolt right in front of me, totally visible. I'm hoping my chesty caught it. I know it was on, but I was hunched down a little bit, so hopefully it wasn't shooting my feet and it got the lightning. But all in all, guys, I'm still going to chalk this up as a great day. Out here, beautiful lake, and I'm fishing, right? There's a lot worse things I could be doing. So I didn't blitz them, didn't smash them by any means, but I still had a good time. And more importantly, I wanted to put this video up to, one, showcase this kayak. How cool is it that I got to put in almost 10 miles today? But two, just keep it real with you guys. We don't always blast them. Matt and I, we've caught a lot of big fish. We have a lot of success, but it happens. So don't get bummed out if it happens to you, and it happens a lot, because as you get into fishing, it's going to happen more and more and more until you start learning, and then it still happens. But last thing, guys, don't mess with lightning. No size of fish is worth your life. No size of fish or amount of fish is worth getting struck by lightning. So I will link all the baits down below in the video description. And I did have some action primarily on the top water, the whopper plopper. Missed one on the frog, and then caught a couple on that little Spro squarebill. So I will link those down below. But guys, if you're like me and you struggle out on the water sometimes, give us a like. Remember to subscribe to the channel. Hopefully we're gonna blitz them next time out in the kayak. I love the kayak fishing. You can't just get up and just run across the lake or make 10-mile runs in a blink of an eye. But all in all, great day. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. I'll talk to you soon, guys. Have a good one.